I never really thought of quitting seriously because I knew there's never a chance I was going to get picked up to Pro League. Kiru makes a big play walking at main and killing rival. Thank God I got my shield up here. And he crashed out on everyone, and Joe like crashed out right back on him, and the clip went viral. No one was going to ever pick this roster up in general. So I told them we're not making any roster moves this whole year, and NBA likes that about us. I even stopped shooting at him because I expected someone to power my closed door here based on how they play. Coach, this is my goddamn team. We're going to do what I want to do. Bro. And secretly in the back of my head, I'm like, is this fucking serious right now?
All right. Right off the bat, this feels like one of the best kept secrets I think we've seen, like for an org of this size. I remember that we caught wind of Astralis before they joined the scene. Everyone knew that Fnatic was going to shift regions. I heard nothing about Envy until the announcement on Tuesday. So how the hell did you guys keep that so under wraps?
That's airtight. I run a tight ship. What can I say? I'm the leader of the Envy camp, the JJ & Co camp. My players fear me, honestly. That would probably be the main reason. We did have a handful of org negotiations, but none went better than my meeting with Envy. I met directly with Hastro, so that's like another reason as to why like it was like it kind of was different. Like these, there were some other big orgs I met with, but like when I met with them, it was like people that were like specifically like meant to like field esports rosters or stuff like that. So like meeting with Hastro was like very like kind of showing like he cared, and he told me he wanted to be in Siege forever and just waiting for the right opportunity. Yeah, the moment we after I finished speaking to Hastro, I knew I wanted to play for Envy, and I told the team that. And then it was just about making it work. And then once we knew it was going to work, I made the whole team like promise me they weren't going to say anything, and we were going to keep it under, because Envy joining Rainbow Six Siege is like, that's something cool, especially for their first roster. Maybe it's a little different if it's like their third iteration of a roster or something. Yeah. But for a legendary org like Envy coming into Siege after almost like a decade, I thought we had to at least do it justice and give the community a good surprise.
You said there were other big orgs in the conversation. I don't need to know names. That can stay under wraps. But was there anybody else that was like on par with, or maybe even bigger than Envy, that was also in the conversation?
There was orgs bigger than, I mean, I'll come out and say it. We talked to 100T. Like 100T was interested. Unfortunately, 100T, in the most polite way possible, said we sucked. In the most polite way possible. No, like I said, I had a very professional meeting with them. They were great guys over there, but like they know exactly where they want to be in esports.
Sure.
And it was a very big ask for them to take on a team of full like T2 rookies, right, going into an esport when they're like pedigree like that. That's why another reason like why Envy fit a lot for us too is because they were like very grassroots people in an organization. So like they really entrusted in that vision for us. So I think it worked out for all parties.
They tweeted the teaser, and I thought it was going to be an announcement for like their Apex team or Rocket League or something, because I would assume an org of that stature would want to get a more established team. But they came for you guys. Other than that grassroots connection, is there any other reason that they said that you were an attractive get?
I think the timing's right for them. Like they were in a hiatus for like how many years after they merged with Optic and whatever. When I met with Hastro, he told me like he started out with the Envy as like a grassroots like small organization and everything. Like not like that they were small in size, but like their in-house was small and they like did things themselves. And then eventually they grew to this massive legendary T1 org. And then when franchising came around for like the Overwatch League and the COD League, they kind of like lost their way in the sense of the grassroots because they came so like big with the franchising. So now that they're back, they kind of want to get back to their original roots. So that's kind of where it comes into. And that's like, it fits right with us. Like we're T2 talent, like unproven. But we're hungry and we want to grind, and it just fits right in.
Biggest org you've played for? Like it's largely been Twitter orgs and then Fluffy Aimers and Wildcard Aces in there. Do you feel any additional pressure playing for an org that's been around almost as long as you've been alive?
No, it's not pressure, more of motivation, if that makes sense. It's like I'm a huge esports fan as a whole, so seeing the name Envy is just like it's just like it's an honor to play for the org as a whole. And I'm just very excited to play for them. And it doesn't add pressure. It just adds like a want to be at the top.
What kind of support are they giving you guys? Like what perks of the job do you suddenly have now that you didn't have before?
Well, I get paid now.
Yes,
so,
let's go.
I get paid now. It just, you hear a lot of like sketchy things within esports as a whole, but especially in Siege, like the past few years, we've had a lot of like sketchy things. Like everyone knows about Mirage. Recently, we've had some things going on with LG. You got to be careful nowadays with esports. So I told my team from the get-go, once we qualified for Pro League, I'd rather play orgless than sign with an org that I didn't trust. They knew I have like the most esports knowledge out of any of them for the most part. Like, I mean, Snake played for TSM, so like Snake like has been around a T1 org, but like he's not like like a negotiator type of person. So they like gave me the trust, and like I told them if we can't find an org I trust, I'd rather be orgless. Because I told my team when we made Pro League that I wanted all 5 of us to play the whole year in Pro League. No one was gonna ever pick this roster up in general. So I told them we're not making any roster moves this whole year, and NBA likes that about us. Because none of us were getting given chances to make Pro League, and when we made it ourselves, everyone here deserves this opportunity. So MV like saw that vision and agreed with it. So they gave us a lot of security in the sense of like, hey, if this is your guys' team, this is your guys' story. We're here to support you guys along the way, and we want you guys to succeed and do it your way. Our coach is the only realistic one in the batch. Our coach, Archer, because he's actually qualified for Pro League through relegations before with M&M. He's been here and he's been in this exact situation, team of like Challenger League rookies making it to Pro League. And his first stage, I think he got 5th place, so he's 1 slot off of making the major that stage. He said the floor goal is don't get relegated. That's what he told us. But he said the goal, boys, is just stage 1 is just play your hearts out. If we can be middle of the pack, that's solid. We're going to shoot to make a major, make the lands. But first stage is all about experience and being competitive. So that's the overall goal of this stage. But I mean, between the 5 players, we told coach to screw off. We're going to EWC.
Well, let's back up and get a better picture of you. So This is JJBlazt. This is first stage that anyone's going to get to see you if they haven't seen you already. When did you start playing comp? Why did it seem interesting to you? And what were some highlights along the way?
I started playing comp on console on PS4 and GoForce back in like 2018.
Classic.
And found like I was like, wow, this game, like I like playing competitively, but there was nowhere to go at the time. Got myself a PC and started competing like late 2019 on PC. I remember like summer of 2020 when COVID hit was kind of when I started to get into the T3 world and started to like team with some players and like actually compete in some T3 leagues and have some decent placings. And then 2022 was like when I was like 18. I went on a lot of CL runs. Like this is a lot of notable moments for a lot of people. My first ever CL qual run was like, there was like a famous clip that came out of it. Anyone in like the T2, T3 scene will know Joe, like Joe Cecina. We had Owen and Joe on the team, and Owen, like after we lost the game, like we were streaming the quals and he crashed out on everyone and Joe like crashed out right back on him and the clip went viral.
Great, man. Killed him. Nice.
Guys, it happened again. Yo, shut the fuck up.
That's where I found Gavini, who's now on M80. So Gavini was on that team with me, Joe, and Owen and everything, where the clip came from. And then the very next stage for CL quals 3 months later, we went again, and I made it to the finals, and I lost versus Rent Free. 3 months later, again for CL quals, I came back, new team this time. I was playing with Bino this time around, and we made it to the final 7-7, and we got poxed on locks.
No.
Good try.
No.
So it took me a while just to even get into T2. And then when I got into T2, I couldn't win a damn playoff game to save my life through E1, E2, E3. I couldn't win a damn playoff game. Couldn't win a playoff game in E4. Challenger Series came around, though. Won 5 BO3s through losers bracket to make Pro League. So, I mean, you never give up, you know?
What do you think the best thing you got out of your time spent in T2 was overall?
I think every element stage I got better, in my opinion.
Sure.
I think like the E1 stage when I was on wildcard aces, like that like did not go well at all. But then I kind of knew what to expect because I never played in T2 before. I went on a bad downward spiral going into E2. My team was awful. So it was kind of like rock bottom was E2. Coming out of E2, like I kind of was able to like bounce back and form a new team. And like that's kind of where I started. I met Rival, who's now in Pro League with me. E3, I also like this was the first time I really had some like actual like tier 2 veterans on my team. I had like Rice and Nick. We did a little better. I think we got 8th place, so like we easily made like playoffs technically. And then E4 was kind of like a similar thing, but just like we were great in group stage and just awful in playoffs. So it's just like a lot of persistence and learning through all those experience. And then like the biggest thing was like I kind of got better each stage and I got better teammates. So that's like why like when I came around to like Challenger Series, like I had like the best like most experienced T2 players I've ever had on my team, and that's why like I was able to put it all together.
Yeah, tell me about what that team looks like. So people will know Snake and Twist from the little bit that they spent with their last NAL teams, but you and Emilio have been duoing for I think most of the last year at this point, and this isn't your first time playing with Rival either. So why is this the right group of guys to go do this thing with?
The core of me, Rival, and Emilio has been like a great core in like T2 now. Like going back to when we formed that core back in August for the wildcard restart tournament, we played really great in that tournament. We got 2 wins versus Pro League teams. We made it to the finals. That was like kind of like our coming out party, if that makes sense. Like everyone we put us on the map a little bit. That's also where Archer joined us too. That was like our first like event with Archer. We eventually got Snake like a couple months later. And that was just like I didn't want to pick Snake up. I just did not want to get Snake. Like Rival, we had Resided on the team, and Rival basically hit us with like an ultimatum, like, yeah, we're either dropping Resided for Snake or I'm leaving. That's what Rival told us. And I liked Resided so much I didn't want to do it, but like I trusted Rival. And best decision that guy ever made. Snake's the guard. I love Snake now. Snake's like my best friend on the team. So yeah,
I'm sad it came at the cost of Resided though, man. Like
yeah, no. But then I ended up teaming Resided again after T2 stuff, man. You know,
T2 stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Snake on the team, and that was another like piece to the core that like kind of like now we knew we had 4, right? We had the 4 pieces, and then we just need a 5th, and like we were like really didn't know who to get. Twist was kind of like just like the only option of players with like experience, and also like we knew we're good, and we didn't really want to play with like a rookie for Challenger Series with how like important it was. Not in a negative sense, but we kind of just said screw it and picked up Twist. Like it's not like a thing to him, it's just like we didn't know how it was gonna go. Right. But that was like the best pickup we could have made. He was like exactly what we needed on the team. Like a mix of like he has pro experience. He's like a T2 veteran. He's a great mechanical player, and he fit in perfectly. So like the team was definitely just adding that piece after piece after piece. You definitely like should be trying to at least have your core, right? And like you like add minor changes here and there as you go into where you can improve.
How's your support staff? I know Archer's coaching you, but do you have anyone else in your back line?
Yes.
What's it like working with those guys?
So since we made Pro League, we picked up an analyst. His name's Lucan, and he was coaching the current Geek team that was in the EU Challenger Series. So we basically poached him from that team because they didn't make Pro League. So yeah, no, he's been a great help with the statistics. But starting off with Archer, like he's probably the only reason we actually made Pro League in the sense of like to an extent, like our team was only going to go as far as like I IGL'd it, if that makes sense. Like obviously the other players all play important parts too, but like most teams are going to live and die by their IGL. And Archer's like the whole reason I've improved like to the point where I can be in Pro League. Because like I've always had like a good talent to be in IGL, but he like truly like harnessed me and like showed me like what I was doing wrong and how to improve. And
he got to mold and craft you a little bit for that role. Yeah.
Exactly. So like Archer's like the whole, and he did that with a lot of people. Like Leo was like such a raw mechanical like Ash main, and now he's like our second support. Like honestly, we all think Leo's our best player. So like he formed Leo into the great player he is. Like he is responsible for everything that like we are as a team, and it's really funny because me and him clashed heads for the good first 3 months too. We had a famous moment where like we were scrimming one time, and like I wanted to play really fast and aggressive play style. He was telling me it's never gonna work, and we need to play structured siege, and we need to have fundamentals. And I was like in between a map at once after like he was telling me how I was wrong and everything. I dragged him into a different Discord call, and I yelled at him. I go, "Coach, this is my goddamn team. We're gonna do what I want to do."
Bro.
And we were crashing out and yelling at each other. And then he's like, "Okay, it's your team. You do it." And then we did that, and then we got we didn't win a playoff game in E4. And then he's like, "JJ, can we do it my way now?" And I'm like, yeah, all right, we can do it your way.
How did everything come together for Challenger specifically? So you did have the 2 new player pickups at the start. You won a qual, had a good Swiss bracket. You only lost the 1 game. Then you had to make a lower bracket run. Was it as simple as Twist and Rival were just the glue that you needed to make everything stick?
Not exactly, in the sense of like the Challenger Series as a whole was like we were fairly consistent the whole time with 1 bad game, in my opinion. The first open qual we ran through, we had the hardest like bracket for the first open qual. We played like 4 teams that ended up making Challenger Series. M80X, like which was like everyone's favorite at the time. Thompson, oh my god, M80X. So we beat them, and then we were in a Challenger League, and then like the only game we lost in Swiss, like you said, was to Revelations. Who we played again in the finals. And then our first playoff game was against Space Troops again. And we came out hot. We won map 1. We were looking good. Our side of the bracket. Map 2 was Lair. Just gonna be honest, not a big fan of Lair. We kept trying to make it work. Like we were practicing it. Like in our practice, we were good on it. I'm not gonna lie. And then we got to we went up 5-1. We started defense, right? And then we lost 6 rounds in a row. I've never seen our team so mentally chalked in my life. When we lost that map. That next map was Clubhouse, like our second best map, map 3. We got like 7-2'd by them on it. To tell you how over it was, we were like down like 5-1 or something, switching sides, and Snake goes, like the round started, he's like, "Man, just get me out of this goddamn game. I'm done already." And,
wow.
I'm like, "Bro, we're trying to make Pro League, and Snake does that." And we all were like laughing because like it is funny, but like secretly in the back of my head, I'm like, "Is this guy fucking serious right now?" That was some crazy stuff, that series. But yeah, so like we had to come back and hit the regain in lower bracket, and we ran the lower bracket all the way through. I mean, it just kind of getting hot. You know what I mean? Like won the first game, got our confidence back a little bit. The remaining 4 games were the next weekend, so we got like a little break, a little breather. And our first game was versus M80X. And I told the team, if we win the M80X game, we're gonna make a run and we'll be in finals. I guaranteed them that. And then we did that, and then the finals is on the whole team. I said, we win the finals. That's because everyone. So
no, it worked out.
We were up 7-6. It goes. We lose that round and make it 7-7. And I hear the timeout come in from my coach. I'm like, and he goes, guys, deep breath.
Yeah.
Give me one damn round. And we gave him it. So, yeah, save the timeout for the very end.
So we haven't had promotions for a few years. There wasn't a dedicated path to pro because you couldn't just win CO with your team and you're in. You had to hope to get picked up by someone if you wanted to get in the league. Did you ever think about quitting? Or did you ever have to navigate any self-doubt about that with your own play in the last few years?
Yeah, I had self-doubt all the time. I don't think I ever like seriously contemplated quitting because like this is like my dream and I wasn't going to give up on it. I enjoy getting on to like compete and like play like in scrim and stuff. Like I still enjoy that. So like I never really thought of quitting seriously, but like constant like doubt if I was good enough or I could ever make this happen, especially when there was no hope to qualify for Pro League, because I knew there's never a chance I was going to get picked up to Pro League. Like just based off like being a support player in an IGL, just my like reputation as a player. So I knew like the only way it was ever going to be to like qualify for myself. So like there's a lot of self-doubt, like, and just like, is this even worth it? Like, why am I still playing? But I mean, the passion and the dream is what like drove it the whole time.
Conversely, was there ever a super definitive point for you where it clicked? Like when you finally all came to light and you're like, oh yeah, I can do this.
Yeah, it was your tournament. Wildcard restart, baby. That was it. That was it. Jacob is the reason I am in Pro League right now.
No. Come on.
You gave me the floor. So
that's true. All I did was give you the format, a couple of pro teams, and infinite overtime, and I said have fun. That's all that I did.
Oh my god, the infinite overtime! Don't get me started. Yeah. So that was a tournament, man. Like that was coming straight off of E3. Where like I revamped the roster and like started to like do things like that's kind of where like I started to do things my way in a sense of like my playstyle, how I wanted to call, like not just doing like what felt right to me. And in that time, like no one wanted to play with myself, rival or deity anyway. So like that was our team at the time. So like we had to pick up like rookie players. Like Leo didn't have any experience. That's where we picked Leo up for. And same like Resida was a complete rookie. No one knew who Resida was. Yeah, but that tournament, like man, that was like playing. We started off versus LG. We had some crazy infinite overtime games on that one. And that series was great. And then we came back the next day and we beat Wildcard in their own tournament with Amaranth watching. What a time. I've never seen Resida more motivated. On a serious note, that was like where like I got to play against some pro teams and I was like, wow, I can do this if I just get there. So that was kind of fueled the passion, like just find a way to get there, and I know I can compete once I get there.
All right. You want to watch a round back with me real quick?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So this is the round. Match point OT against Revelations, map 3. Winner makes an AL. And for context, they're going church. You had only won church 1 of 3 times before this, and this is the first round that they bring a roam lineup for this site. So tell me what you're thinking as it plays out here.
So going into like this round, you still need to know your opponent, and that's like was the first step of this round is like knowing Revelations and like how they operate as a team. They're very aggressive. They don't play strategy all that well in a sense of structure and like methodical. They're really just frag orientated and like very loose. So we saw that this in the prep phase, this was a full roam setup coming out of them, and we knew knowing their play style, they're living and dying by the roam. So normally we would never on a basement club attack bring a Dokkaebi and a Jackal. Never. Like we normally will have execute ops for the late round, right? Knowing our opponent, knowing like their op lineup, vigil, full top 4 roaming, I was like, guys, just bring roam clear ops. We are going to kill them all on this roam. And it starts up here on this in this con side with the blitz, me spearheading. We had really great drone work to find out this Legion was ratting in con, and I pushed him out with a blitz, and we got like you saw like 2 people on my teammates were swarming around me. I think Twist was on the window and Leo was in cash next to me. So like just a really great isolated first pick because they were roaming and gave it to us. So that's like where this round comes out. You'll see it come out right here. He gets overextended, tries to hit this rat spot behind this Kiva, and we find him on a drone right there, and then he's dead right here. Like I even stopped shooting at him because I expected someone to power my close door here based on how they play, and they just let him to die. So at this point in the round, like we're feeling really confident because like we have everything we're gonna need now, and we have a pick. This was like watching this back, like everyone was crazy about this part. This Mike W. rat in kitchen.
He totally could have won it from here for sure. Yeah.
Technically, we had no clue he was there. Technically, we didn't know. I said to drone kitchen, no one did. All right, but thankfully the Dokkaebi call did save us and kind of made him think he had to drop. And then this was Mr. B. They tried to call a power. Something we knew too is like you can see another guy in lounge right now too. Mr. B's team is notorious for powering, and I learned that from him when we tried to team before Challenger Series. Me and him tried to team together for a week and it went awful. But I learned from him. He like always tries to call a power on defense, so we knew that was coming. Right? And another free pick that we got lucky with the castle dropping. But at this point, we are just getting everything open and doing our best to just make sure we're going to clean this round out. I threw a smoke to bait out and make them scared a little bit. We all got in position, and now here comes the flood on the church. We're all together here. We do a great job to clear this guy. And then Kiru makes a big play walking at main and killing rival. Thank God I got my shield up here. That saved the round. Now, Snake here, I have no clue what Snake was doing. Snake almost lost us the round right there. All he had to do was sit and hold like a close angle on the swing. And then now, like, they have no clue what my HP is. I'm getting shot to 1 HP. Twist kills the guy covering over me. And I remember my coach always told me just stay calm and don't freak out. So here I just stayed calm and I just crouch walked at this guy and I scared him in the moment. And I just funneled him right to Twist and the rest is history.
How much of that do you attribute to that timeout right beforehand of getting everybody to just settle down right before you go into round 15? Like, was that as big a deal as it seems to me? Yeah.
That helped. The only thing is we had no clue they were going to go basement again because on the 6-6 round when we were on attack, they went basement and we flawlessly won it. They caught us off surprise. Like everything we talked about in the timeout strategically was for like a CC or a cash attack. So when they called basement, that was on the fly. But our coach definitely like got us all to calm down, just deep breath and just one round.
Last question before I let you go. What is the NAL getting by letting you in the league finally?
What did they get? I think we're gonna get a lot more fun nowadays that I'm here. Everyone like that knows about me knows I'm outspoken. I'm not afraid to talk, either say what's on my mind, talk some shit, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But also just a lot of passion. Like if you ever like watch our clips and stuff or see like the infamous face cam clips of me like doing whatever I'm doing, like everyone knows like the passion's there with me and like this is everything for me. And it's the same for my team. Funny personality stuff aside, like we're a team that we're coming into Pro League and it's not that big of a difference for us in the sense of mental battles. Because in most teams you see that qualify for Pro League in our situation in the past history of Siege would like pretty much like just not even be like competitive in Pro League. For us, we don't see ourselves in that sense because we've been practicing against Pro League teams and for 3 years now. Like I get on and I play these guys every day. Like, I'm not scared of these players. I'm not like, oh my God, I can't beat them. The wildcard restart proved I can beat them on game day, right? The biggest thing for us, man, is we're just going to play confident. We're going to have fun. The biggest thing that, like, we found within ourselves during Challenger Series is, like, when we have fun and we take down a little bit a level of seriousness, like, we're still, like, taking it serious, but, like, we get a little goofy in sense. We take some risks. We do maybe a thing or two here we shouldn't do, and the vibes are high. That like we get to be unbeatable in our sense. So the goal is just we're going to play confident. We're going to take it to whatever team we play, and we're going to have fun during the process.